What's one piece of advice you have for visionaries in the interview setting?
Yeah, I think the piece of advice I'd give if you were somebody like me, who's a big picture thinker, is maybe you don't have to be in the interview, or maybe you're in the third interview or something. You're definitely not in the first because you're going to, I mean, I can only speak from my experience. I spend most of my time selling somebody on the role or getting very bored with what's happening and checking out mentally and not being engaged enough to make a wise choice. So I always have somebody else either do the first pass interview or sit in with you. But then I think the visionary interview should be getting to sell your vision. Like that's a fun thing to do and comes naturally. And it should only be done for those candidates that you're like, I'm pretty sure this is the right fit. So I would say trust the people that are around you that are helping you with the hire. Trust that there are people that are good at things you're not good at, and let go of the need to control every step of that process.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. That would be my number one piece of advice as an integrator who has done a lot of interviews with a visionary is don't send them alone. And
You can't be
then
trusted.
and then the other thing I would say that goes kind of along with that, that I feel like we kind of figured out a flow for was the visionary shouldn't have set questions. The
Yeah.
visionary should be fully invested in the conversation if they can be. Someone else can have set questions that they're following, but the visionary should be able to just kind of throw in the questions as the thoughts come to them, and they can dive kind of deeper on the parts that are important to them. But I think that that is a really important component, is just like letting visionary be present in that conversation.
Yeah, I think too, because I think you can't do any of these things we're talking about without having probably a visionary that's self aware, because that's such a big component of knowing like what are your limitations, what are the things that you struggle with, and then truly letting the people around you fill in those gaps. um, but none of this comes without a level of self-awareness, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.